Robots, one of humans' best creations. The very first electronic autonomous robots with complex behavior were created by William Gray Walter in 1948. Then later from 1954 to 1961, George Devol patented and created the first industrial robot called the Unimate. After companies realized the potential financial boom of these things, the race to creating the most complex and efficient robots begins. Fast forward to today, these robots are walking, rolling, and crawling together with humans to create a better future. However, we can't expect our creations to be flawless all the time. So today we take a look at robots that got in trouble while at work. Chess is one of those complicated games where your attention is required. Your tactics should be sound because your goal is to capture your opponent's king. The chess community have different ways of playing the game. Some face-to-face, others through the internet, and some would even face a robot arm. During a chess tournament in Russia back in 2022, one robot was playing a simultaneous exhibition against 3 children. On the opening and middle game phases of the match, it seemed like it was a great game. The kids are doing well and the robot was equal to them. In the endgame though, one of the children was getting ready to make his move, but he wasn't given the chance because suddenly the robot that he was playing against grabbed his finger and squeezed. This woman, who just happens to be watching the match, comes to his aid, but as they pull away, the robot squeezed even harder. The people monitoring the robot tried to do a quick reset, but it wasn't working. It took one more adult to pry open the robot just to get the boy out. We can't tell from this angle how serious the damage was, but looking at this woman's reaction, we can only imagine how mangled his finger must have been. It turns out that the robot mistakenly identified the child's index finger as a chess piece. RIA Novosti, a Russian news state agency, reported that the robot thought that the child was refusing to give up a chess piece. Some people on the internet, including the original uploader of the video, warns against an AI uprising and said that it would be nice if robots like these should be put to sleep. However, a Russian chess grandmaster, Sergei Smagin, was in support of the robot. He says that the whole thing is a coincidence and the robot is absolutely safe. He added that the robot performed at many open areas where there are much more people. He also says that children needs to be warned when playing against robotic arms. The robot was suspended for about 3 days until the flaw was found, and never had any other problems ever since. Knightscope is an advanced tech security company that makes robots. Their job is to patrol, detect, record, and report crimes. One of their robots, called the K5, released in 2015, features a lot of detection tools. It had 360-degree cameras, GPS, audio recording systems, a ton of sensors, and thermal imaging. This robot could actually replace a security guard for a cheaper hourly rate of $7. Now, this robot doesn't demand work breaks, it promotes safety, and will not go on strike. It's great to feel assured that you get to shop comfortably because of this crime-fighting machine. But in July 7, 2016, one particular K5 robot at a shopping center in California accidentally knocks down a toddler to the ground. Now, this story could have stopped here as it was indeed an accident. However, the K5 robot didn't stop, proceeds to run over the toddler's leg, and kept moving forward. It seems like it was running away from the scene. Ironic considering their website says that the robot successfully helped catch a suspect on a hit-and-run case. The toddler's mom says the following in an interview with ABC News. To make things much worse, the mother was later informed by a human security guard that the same robot bumped another child just days earlier. The shopping center did not comment on the mentioned previous robot incident, but a spokesperson says that they prioritized the shopper's safety. The Stanford shopping center then suspended the robot from its duties until further notice. Nightscope extended an invitation for the family to come over and see the technology of their robots. They were horrified after learning of what K5 Robot had done to the toddler and offered their most sincere apologies. The CEO of Nightscope, William Santana Lee, says the following.
Our first thoughts are for the family, and we are thankful there were no serious injuries. Our primary mission is to serve the public's overall safety, and we take any circumstance that would compromise that mission very seriously.
You can read the entire incident report linked in the description box down below, but here is the gist of that report. The machine veered to the left to avoid the child, but the child then fell backwards, resulting on the collision with the robot. The robot's sensors registered no vibration alert, and the machine motors did not stop. It was assuming that there was no obstacle, so it kept moving forward. The toddler's mother says that she doesn't feel comfortable returning to the Stanford Shopping Center after this incident, as she was concerned that it could happen again. And she says that she wishes companies like Nightscope should test the robots in a wide variety of things before sending it out to public. There's this nice hotel called the Henna Hotel that opened in March of 2015 in Nagasaki, Japan as the very first robot-staffed hotel. The rooms have beds that allows you to change its temperature, in-room tablets, incredible Wi-Fi, and an LG styler closets that freshens your clothes. The hotel also included this egg-shaped robot, or what they call the Churi, as your room assistant. They also have animatronic velociraptors when you check in, robot dancers in the lobby, robot bellhops in the hotel's main concierge, humanoid robots that will process your stay. Unfortunately, in 2019, 4 years after their release, the robots that I mentioned already got fired. These robots were simply not really good at their jobs. The Churi will constantly talk at the wrong times of the day. A customer complained that Churi will interrupt her conversation while she's on the phone. But when she asks Churi some simple questions like what the weather is for today, Churi will simply not respond at all or just tell you the time. Another visitor of the hotel complained that Churi will ask,
申し訳ありませんが、聞き取れませんでした。もう一度お願いできますか?
at 3 a.m., mistaking his snoring as a request. Now, the Velociraptor check-in animatronics couldn't answer basic guest questions without human help. These dinos will stare at you as you inquire about getting the hotel's emergency number. The robot dancers in the lobby were clunky, so they got fired as well. The robot bellhops were simply too slow to bring your luggage from the lobby of the hotel to your room. They also only worked the best on flat surfaces, so a customer had to push their own luggage because one of the robot bellhops keep bumping into the walls. Another customer complained that the bellhops made a mistake by dropping off their luggage in front of a different guest room. Bellhops were also really noisy and would bump into each other whenever the hallway gets too narrow. Now, the hotel's robot concierge takes a really long time to process a guest, so human intervention was needed most of the time. They simply couldn't even pick up a photocopy of the customer's passport. The robot concierge also don't know where the airport is, doesn't have a clue where any nearby tourist attractions are, and won't even talk to you if you ask to check out. This also brings up the hotel's human staff members expressing that they had to do 4 times the work because of the robot mistakes. The Henna Hotel then had to decide to fire more than half of these robot employees to prevent further customer service complaints and dissatisfactions.